Hey guys, so like I said before, I was MIA and I was going to start doing videos again. My little one is in her swing. If you can see, it's me. She's sleeping now. Um, Basically, this is going to be a video on labor and things that you wish you would have known going into the hospital, you know, or if you haven't had a baby before, this is what you're going to want to know when you go into labor. And then if you've had a baby before, this is the stuff you wish you would have known. And if you have any ideas or something that you experienced that I didn't, that you think all mothers should know, put it down below. So new moms or moms that have been moms for a while, that are having kids again, they can know. Basically, well, here was my experience. I went through 28 hours of labor, um, and then had to go through C-section. So I got the best of both worlds. I went through the labor pains and all of that good fun stuff, and then also had to go through a C-section. Um, Basically, I was diagnosed preeclamptic, and my labor was induced, which I did not want. Unfortunately, I wanted to try and go naturally and just let my body do its thing, but that wasn't happening because of the fact that I was preeclamptic. Um, there are things that, obviously the medical field is wonderful, but there are things that are really gross when it comes to the medical field as well. Like, the only reason I got diagnosed preeclamptic and was induced was because I had to do a 24-hour urine collection, which they found protein in my urine, which means my kidneys weren't working as well as they should have been. So they had to induce me. Um, Basically, I went through all of labor. I went 28 hours of having contractions, epidural, blood draws, and that's one thing, I was not expecting. I was sticked and prodded and poked at for 28 hours. That's like, oh my gosh. I went in at, what was it, around 12, and I was there for 4 or 5 days, 4 days, I believe. Um, Obviously, labor was the first 2 days, recovery was the next 2 days, and then I went home the last night around 8. One thing no one ever told me after every book I read, talking to my sisters or anyone that's been through labor, they never tell you about, me personally, I had so many different nurses, and I went through probably like 5 cycles of nurses. Um, and then another thing they don't tell you is, at the hospital I went to, you see a doctor, your OBGYN, for the whole period of time, expecting them to be the ones that deliver your baby. At the hospital I went to, it's a naval hospital in Camp Pendleton. If your doctor is not on call, you're not having your baby with that doctor. It's pretty much who's ever there, which I don't know if this is how it is in every hospital, but I'm pretty sure the doctors that are on call are the ones that are going to be delivering your baby, which, at first I was really uncomfortable with because I didn't want, a male doctor checking me, especially without my husband present or anyone else present. It was something that I felt really uncomfortable with. Well, little did I know, once you start labor, you could care less. And I know women, you've probably heard that before, that you could care less who's checking you, but it's honestly true. And the sense of decency and being covered and not wanting people to see all your goods, that kind of goes out the window. I know most women are like, no, I wouldn't do that. I would keep myself covered and blah, blah, blah. No, you don't care. I mean, I was to the point where everything was hanging out at one point, and there were like 5, 6, there were like 3 doctors that walked in, there were 3 or 4 nurses there, and my parents were on the opposite side of the room. My husband's sitting next to me, and I'm just like, hey, what's going on? Another thing is, when you're diagnosed preeclamptic, they keep a arm cuff on you the entire time. So I was literally having my blood pressure taken every 15 minutes. My arm hurt bad because it's being squeezed over and over and over again. Your arm gets tired, and it sucked. Also, when you're diagnosed preeclamptic, they take your blood often. And because of when you're pregnant, you get, swollen, there are times when you will get stuck multiple times without them even drawing anything. I got blood drawn probably, 11 times, and they did it all over. Like, I had it on the side of my thumb at one point, down in this part of my arm a couple times, like right here, like in the middle of my arm, which is so weird. I've also had it drawn on this side, in the thing. Oh my gosh. It was horrible. I got stuck and poked and prodded all over. And then I also had to have my IV because I was being induced. I couldn't eat. That's one thing. When you're induced, I know they say when you're going to have a planned C-section that you're not supposed to eat. But even when you're induced, they cut you off. There's no food. There's no water. Nothing. You get ice chips, maybe, if you're lucky. At first, they gave me water and they weren't supposed to, but I drank it anyways. They were like, oh, would you like some water? And I was like, sure. And then the doctors told the nurse that I wasn't supposed to have water, so I gulped that crap down before she could take it. Because you get so thirsty. I've never felt so thirsty in my life. I wasn't ever hungry. Like, most women say they got really hungry. I didn't. I was so thirsty. Another thing, for labor-wise, this isn't after labor. During labor, if you decide to get an epidural, which I did, and I had Pitocin, which I didn't want, when you go to get your epidural, it hurts because there is no numbing. I mean, they say they give a numbing shot, but that shot hurts worse than the epidural itself. That shot, it is like taking a knife to the back. And I know I don't want to scare anyone. I just want you guys to be prepared for that pain, because it is something that I was just like not ready for. Like, they told me, oh, you'll feel a little pinch. It might sting a little. No, that shit does not pinch or sting a little. It hurts. Downright hurts. Like, they are taking a needle and shoving it right into your spine practically, and it hurts. But once that was all done, the epidural started working, and it was magic. I did not feel those contractions at all. After labor, of things they did not tell you, I will tell you one thing. You will be constipated if you are induced or have a planned C-section. You will be constipated, and it will hurt to go. Another thing is, when I heard of women getting C-sections, I'm like, yeah, that's major surgery. They get cut open. No one ever tells you about the pain you will feel after. It is so horrible, especially if you don't keep up on your pain medication. I was taking oxycodone, or however you say it, which is a really strong narcotic pain reliever. That stuff was magic. But I'll tell you one thing. My hospital at least does not refill it because of the fact that you can get addicted to it. They give you one bottle and they say when it's done, it's done. You got to start taking 800 milligrams of ibuprofen, or you're taking 650 milligrams of Advil or Tylenol. So once that stuff was over, there were times when I literally just wanted to ball up and cry. But if I balled up, that would hurt my stomach, so I didn't. You get really stiff. And the thing is when you have a C-section, your stomach, you never realize how much your core works everything in your body. And when you have that C-section, you go to get up, you can't get up too fast, it hurts really bad. There were so many nights when I was feeding Emma on the couch, and my husband actually had to come and help pick me up off the couch because my stomach hurt so bad. It was horrible. The pain was horrible. It was, I mean, the amount of pain that I went through from labor to her being about 2 months, no, about where she's at now is ridiculous. Because, you know, I've had clogged milk ducts. I've had, you know, severely cracked nipples. I've had the works. Anything that could have happened and went wrong, not to the point of the severity where I had to go to the hospital, but just the little things that went wrong, it happened to me. And I'll tell you one thing, it is all painful. And I don't want to scare anyone away, and this is probably why no one ever tells you like this, because it might scare you, and I don't want it to scare you. It's just what I experienced. To me, even though as much as it was painful, it was all worth it to me, because I have a beautiful daughter, and I love her to pieces. Like, oh my goodness, I love her so much. It's just ridiculous how much you go through for this little tiny life, and you love them to death, but the pain, man. At first, the first month, 2 months, you're like, I will never do this again. Ever. Ever again, because of the pain. And just the overwhelming sense of being tired and exhausted and just overwhelmed with family and coming into, you know, this having a baby and having to adjust your whole life. And I don't care who says you won't ever have to adjust your whole life. That is the biggest, fattest lie I've ever heard. You do. You have to adjust everything. Your world, your family's world revolves around this baby now. Like, everything is just the baby. Um, there's so many things that, you know, are difficult within the first couple months, and everyone will tell you the first 2 to 3 months are the hardest. I mean, it's just starting to get a little bit easier for me. I'm finally, you know, I'm getting the groove of being a mom and waking up in the middle of the night, feeding her, going back to sleep. It takes a while for you to adjust. It does. And basically, it's all worth it. It really, truly is. It's all worth it. I don't want to scare anyone away from having a baby. It is the most wonderful thing. But be prepared for the things that are not so wonderful. You know, constipation, pain, you know, cracked nipples, and exhaustion, just being completely overwhelmed. And there will be days when you have a significant other that you're living with. There will be days when you just want to strangle them. You want to kill them. But you'll get past it. There are days when all you want to do is cry because you're so overwhelmed. And there have been days when, or nights, when I literally just had to give her to her father, walk away, and just cry for about 10-15 minutes, get it out, take a few breaths, and then go back and finish dealing with what it was. And yeah, my husband always tells me my patience is through the roof now, and it has been since I've been had her. So I hope everyone that does watch this video, I hope it helped a little bit. I know there was a lot of rambling. I don't write anything down. It is just whatever comes to my mind, I just say it. I hope it helps a little bit. If you have any more questions, or if you want another video about what to expect, write it in the comments below, and I will definitely do another video. A lot of my videos are going to be more about mommies and daddies and being, you know, new parents, because I am definitely dealing with it. But I hope this helped, and you can know a little bit more what to expect when having a baby. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Bye!